Welcome back to Ray Sumpter Field in Bryan. We are back here and ready for game number 2 of the doubleheader tonight, streaming on youtube.com/Bryan Sports. For those of you that are unaware, we are doing that because there is no B-Rock and Q96.5 to do anything off of, thanks to the devastating fire from over the weekend. So a big thanks to Chris Malenga and the crew from Bryan Sports for loaning us their YouTube page. We found out we have our own YouTube page, but found out we didn't have enough subscribers to stream. You have to have X amount of subscribers. I guess we could have just asked everybody to just go to that YouTube page and subscribe to it. It's free to subscribe, but Chris offered up bryansports.com, and we appreciate him doing just that. And so we're ready to bring you game 2 of the doubleheader tonight. It is 2-seed Edgerton against number 3 seed, the Hilltop Cadets, or number 4 seed Hilltop Cadets, I should say, and Edgerton is the 2 seed. Edgerton got here rolling over Antwerp in a sectional championship game 9-1. Hilltop fell behind early to North Central by 5 and then went on a tear and ended up winning 13-5 over North Central in the sectional championship game. Edgerton is 15-10 on the season. Hilltop 12-10-1. Both teams finished 4-3 in their respective conferences. Edgerton 4-3 in the Green Meadows Conference, and Hilltop, of course, 4-3 in the BBC. Edgerton has been playing tremendous baseball here late in the year. They've won 5 of their last 6 and 7 of their last 9, while Hilltop has won 2 straight. After kind of coming out of a mid to three-quarter season funk, they've won 3 of their last 4. They do have that tie in there, and we talked a little bit about it in the first game. Eden and Hilltop picking up a game earlier this week just to play another game and get the sticks and keep the sticks going in preparation for a district semifinal. And it went 8 innings, and darkness was settling in, and they didn't want to continue to use pitching. So they ended up just calling it good at a tie. Coverage of tonight's game also being brought to you in part by Andres O'Neill & Lowe Insurance Agency. For all of those insurance needs, remember Andres O'Neill & Lowe Insurance. Also presented to you by Donaldson's Ace Hardware. For all of your hardware needs and all of those summer needs, including all of your painting needs, take care of everything at Donaldson's Ace Hardware, where Ace is the place. Attorneys at law, Newcomer, Schaefer, Breininger and Company, always supporting area athletes in all that they do. And that same goes for Camco of West Unity. Start your career now in a terrific work atmosphere. Check things out when on their website, Camco of West Unity. And finally, coverage of tonight's game between Edgerton and Hilltop, also being brought to you by Peltz Lumber Company in Montpelier and Pioneer. For all of your lumber needs, all of your building supply needs, and much more, building for a new generation at Peltz Lumber Company. So Hilltop 12-10-1. Their lineup to start this thing looks like this because they will be the visiting team tonight. It'll be Cameron Slosher leading off the shortstop. Batting second, the first baseman, Terry Rebeck. Hitting third and catching is Devin Dempsey. Batting in the cleanup spot and the starting pitcher tonight, Cameron Schimpf. Hitting fifth, the left fielder, Anthony Giannuzzi. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Brennan Dempsey. In the number 7 spot is the designated hitter, Micah Rossman, DHing for right fielder Flint Bowman. Batting 8th, the second baseman, Xander Runkle. And in the number 9 spot, the center fielder, Brady Wagner. Defensively for Edgerton in the outfield, Scotty Krantz is in left, Braden Leppelmeyer in center, and Mason Eldon is in right. Noah Weaver's at first, Parker Eldon at second, Corey Herman at third, and Kellen Sanchez is the shortstop. Jackson Flower is behind the plate, and Maddox Baker getting the call on the mound tonight for the Edgerton Bulldogs. When Edgerton hits as the home team, it'll be Maddox Baker leading off and pitching. Corey Herman will bat second. Kellen Sanchez is hitting third. Jackson Flower bats fourth. Noah Weaver fifth. Then it'll be Braden Leppelmeyer hitting sixth. Brady Everett is seventh, the DH. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Mason Eldon. And hitting ninth, the left fielder, Scotty Krantz. Defensively, Hilltop lines up like this when they're in the field. Anthony Giannuzzi in left, Brady Wagner in center, Flint Bowman's in right. Terry Rebeck at first, Xander Runkle at second, Brennan Dempsey at third, and Cameron Slosher is the shortstop. Devin Dempsey behind the plate, and Cameron Shimp is on the mound tonight for the Hilltop Cadets. Your umpires working Game 2 tonight are Tim Kleck, Steve Elwood, and Doug Johans. So those are the lineups. This is the pregame show being presented to you by Allied Molded Products. Think inside the box at Allied Molded Products. A little conversation about both these teams presented to you by Bryan Ford Lincoln. Employee pricing for everyone continues through June 2nd. And if you find that vehicle but don't get it by June 2nd, the prices will be honored, the employee pricing. Just do it before June 2nd at Bryan Ford Lincoln. Really overall good seasons for both these teams. And 3. Hilltop won 12 overall. They went 4-3 in the BBC. Good enough for a third place finish behind champion Montpelier. And again, Montpelier awaits the winner of this game tonight. They won our opening game over Eden 7-3. And so Hilltop making a return trip to the district. They advanced to the district championship last year and fell to Montpelier in that district final. Edgerton is also back and eliminated in the semifinals last year by the Edgerton Bulldogs. So a rematch of the districts from a season ago. So the conversations about both these teams, again, brought to you by Bryan Ford Lincoln, always just down the road from high prices and employee pricing right now, which is great for everyone. Employee pricing at Bryan Ford Lincoln. Coverage tonight also brought to you by Yarger Flegel Investment Services of Edgerton. Your financial future starts with Yarger Flegel Investments. Call Tom Lynn or Shelley at 419-298-2000. Coverage tonight also brought to you by Amerimaid Realty. If you're looking for your next dream home, give Misty a call today. Misty King at Amerimaid Realty. Go to AmerimaidRealty.com. For the latest in men's apparel in clothing, Maddox Men's Emporium in downtown Bryan is your only option. They are a great sponsor of high school sports, as well as the store right next door to them, which is the same family owning it, Matt and Misty King, and that is Eliane's Boutique. Coverage is also brought to you by Starks Plumbing and Heating. For all of those plumbing, heating, and air conditioning services, it's Starks Plumbing and Heating in one call. And brought to you by Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, member-owned, locally minded at Midwest Community Federal Credit Union. We are inching closer to the first pitch tonight. Again, as we said, Montpelier is already through with a 7-3 win in the first game tonight. The district championship game has already been set in Hamler, which is the winner there will eventually play the winner coming out of here. That will be a Miller City Kalida final. A couple of shutouts today. Miller City blanking Leipzig 2-0. Kalida shutting out Fort Jennings in the nightcap 6-0. Haven't seen or heard anything on the games in Findlay, but in Elida, it will be Minster versus Delphos St. John's. Minster, another drubbing. They have won 2 postseason games now by the score of 38-0. They won today 13-0 over Upper Scioto Valley. They'll play Delphos St. John's, a 7-3 winner over Lima Central Catholic. In Division 6 at Napoleon, Fairview will take on Lincoln View in a district final. Fairview smoked Wayne Trace 10-1. Lincoln View down Patrick Henry and eliminated then by the final of 7-1. So Division 6 is all set there. Evergreen will be playing tomorrow night in a Division 6 district final. They get Gibsonburg there. In Division 5, Ottawa Hills has moved on with a 10-0 win over Archbold today, and it looks as if it's going to be Eastwood. Eastwood was on top of Swanton last we heard, 8-2 the score there in that one. Napoleon gets Lake in Division 4 in Archbold as we pause for our national anthem. And we are closing in on first pitch here this evening of this matchup between Edgerton and Hilltop, a little past the 7:30 announced start time. As we again check in on where we're at, game time temperature for game 2 will be 65 degrees here tonight, with it feels like still at 62 as we move our way through this game tonight. The chilliest we would hit would be around 59 degrees, and that's if, dare I even say it, that we're still playing at 10 o'clock tonight because we have gone on to extra innings. That's when we would be into the 50s is all I'm saying. I'm not encouraging that. Maddox Baker, the right-hander, ready to toe the rubber here for the Edgerton Bulldogs. As we tell you about Maddox's season, he has pitched 30 innings for the Bulldogs. This will be his 10th appearance and his 6th start of the year. He is 2-4 with a 3.5 earned run average. He's allowed 19 runs, 15 of them earned, 25 hits, has struck out 33, walked 14, and has hit 5 batters on the season. This is an Edgerton staff that has accumulated an ERA of 3.08. This is a hot and cold hitting Hilltop team offensively on the season. It is a team that is extremely capable offensively. And as we said, have had some high spots. They've had some hard luck games as well where they've hit the ball hard and had not much to show for it. It is a unit hitting .281 as a team on the season for Tony Gehrig. They've scored 172 runs in 23 games. They'll be sending Cameron Slusher to the plate, followed by Terry Rebeck and Devin Dempsey to face Maddox Baker. Coverage also brought to you by BSN Sports. Your game day starts with BSN Sports, your team gear, uniform, and equipment headquarters. We tip our caps to every school, coach, and parent who made this season unforgettable. Thank you for trusting us to gear up your team. So now it's all set. Cameron Slusher will dig in. 309 average on the season. He has driven in 9 runs, no homers, 9 runs batted in to face this right-hander Baker, who will toe the first base side of the rubber. Stares in to Flower, rocks and fires, and we're underway at Ray Sumpter Field in Bryan. It's a fastball a little bit low for ball 1. Cadets winners of 3 of their last 4 and 2 straight. Tony Gehrig coaching at his alma mater. Ground ball up the middle, off the glove of Baker. Slusher hustling down will have an infield single. Not much that could be done after it was batted away by Baker. He tried to go off the mound and make the play, but Slusher hustled out of the box quickly, and the infield single to start this game. That'll bring Terry Rebeck to the plate, who has raised that average to an even 400. He has 22 runs batted in and has clubbed 3 homers on the season to lead the team in that category on the season. Has hit 3 of their 4. He has also crushed 10 doubles and 2 triples as well to lead the Cadets. Baker will come set at the belt. The pitch. Rebeck takes a little bit low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Your count. Meanwhile, as far as on base and OPS, Rebeck 316 on base and a 610 OPS. In front here, 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball away, and it's now 3-0 as Baker falls in a hole here. Do they green light Rebeck at 3-0? Slusher gets his lead. The pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. Check that, a curveball on the outside corner. It is 3-1. Rebeck, the Hilltop first baseman, will play basically both corner infield spots as well. Has played some third. There goes Slusher from first. Pitches on the outside corner for a strike. Throw down not in time. In fact, it'll skip into center field. Slusher, though, has stolen second. The count now 3-2 on Terry Rebeck. Edgerton, 15-10 season. Bulldogs catching fire late after the slow start against a difficult schedule. They have won 5 of 6 and 7 of 9 entering play today. Early RBI chance for Hilltop, who had to dig out of a hole against North Central. Love to flip the script. The 3-2 swung on, hot shot to third. Knocked down and bobbled by Herman. Throw across is just in time. That will retire Rebeck. Great job by Herman, not panicking. He didn't field it cleanly at third, but then was able to scoop it up. Rebeck doesn't run extremely fast, and they're able to get him. Here comes Devin Dempsey, 362 average, no homers, 16 runs batted in on the season. The pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. The next offering is a breaking ball hit high into the air towards center field. Long run in, and it will be the right fielder, Mason Eldon, who calls everybody off to make the grab, and they'll retire Devin Dempsey on the fly out to shallow right field. Next batter now is Cameron Shimp. Shimp hitting .354 on the year with no homers, 17 runs batted in. He settled into that cleanup spot. 5 extra base hits, 4 doubles and a triple. .468 on base and a .947 OPS for Shimp. He swings and hits that one out of play off to the right. It is 0-1. Slusher infield single, stolen base. Rebeck grounded out to third. Dempsey flew out to right, and Slusher still there at second. 2 gone in the first inning. Baker comes set at the belt, delivers home, curveball, high chopper toward the hole. On the short hop, a good job by Herman to then apply the tag to get Slusher on the putout. So officially that will be a 5 unassisted on the tag. As he was coming toward third, it didn't even require a throw across, and Hilltop will strand a runner on base. They get a hit in the inning, but no score here into the middle of the first inning. Coverage of high school baseball, tournament baseball, is also being brought to you tonight by Black Swamp Equipment for all of your equipment and rental needs, your steel needs and your Toro needs, as well as those rentals that you might need. See Black Swamp Equipment. Also brought to you by Direct Link Appliances and Furniture in Bryan. They have everything you need in appliances and furniture. Direct Link Appliances and Furniture. Also being brought to you by United Oil, fueling solutions for wholesale gas and diesel and propane. I love it. That makes me official now, Brownie. Brought to you tonight by United Oil and presented to you by Hilltop Athletic Boosters. The Hilltop Athletic Boosters supporting all Hilltop athletes in all sports. The Hilltop Athletic Boosters. And finally, coverage tonight also brought to you by Everett's Farms in Edgerton. Big supporters of anything and everything Edgerton. Wishing the Bulldogs the best of luck tonight in the district semifinals. And that is Everett's Farms of Edgerton. All right. On the mound, Cameron Shimp for the Hilltop Cadets. You look at what Shimp has done. He's 4-2 with a .285 earned run average on the season. This will be his 11th appearance. He's pitched 34 1/3 innings, allowed 18 runs, 14 of them earned, 23 hits, has struck out 51, walked 18 on the season, and he has hit 3 batters. He'll be facing an Edgerton offense that has been, for the most part, pretty good this season for Mike Gillen, who got the job in, of all years, COVID year. That was his first season. Is that gone? Getting close to going final. Eastwood late in that game, bottom of the 6th, leading Swanton 10-2 with a winner to get Ottawa Hills in the district final. So it will be Maddox Baker, 373 average with a .515 on base and a 1,048 OPS coming up. No homers, 12 runs batted in. Swings from the left-handed side of the plate. Meanwhile, high leg kick. Shimp comes home and misses high and outside for ball 1. Baker, Corey Herman, and Kellen Sanchez to face Cameron Shimp here in the bottom half of the first inning. Here comes the 1-0 delivery. Fastball that is there for strike 1. Not much wind at all. That has really cut down from game 1 to game 2. The flag in center not flying at all right now. Sun has made an appearance here. It is now 1 ball, 2 strikes on Maddox Baker. Early on, we have seen the outside corner being given. One ball, two strikes on Maddox Baker in this righty-lefty matchup. The pitch. Breaking ball driven toward right field, and that's going to be over the head of Flint Bowman, who misplayed it. The speedy Baker is going to have three easily as he's in with a stand-up triple. Actually, he'll slide, but didn't need it. Flint Bowman came in, and it was one of those, he's far enough away, I didn't see his face, but I could have guessed. It was, oh no. As soon as he took that step in, Baker had gotten good barrel on it, and it was over his head, and a triple for Baker to lead off things for Edgerton. That's his third triple of the season. It'll send Corey Herman to the plate now. Herman hitting .352 with a .495 on base and a .959 OPS on the season. Moving up in the box on the right-hand side. Curveball hit foul and out of play. Has an open stance. He has hit 4 doubles, a couple of triples, and has no homers but driven in 14 runs on the season. It's over now. So Eastwood has won 12-2 in 6 innings, run ruling Swanton. Fastball that's a little bit low or outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Early chance here for the Bulldogs, the number 2 seed. Baker at third, nobody out. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Schimpf. Curveball delivered outside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. If you're listening online, thank you so much. We're here on YouTube.com/Bryan Sports. The 2-1 delivery from Schimpf. Fastball hit the opposite way, a little bloop job toward right field. Bowman with a running grab. Baker tags, going to try to score. Cut by Rebeck, throw at the plate, not in time. Sacrifice fly for Corey Herman and an RBI, and the Bulldogs draw first blood. They lead it 1-0 here. Good job by Herman to drive in his 15th run. And now the number 3 hitter for Edgerton, Kellen Sanchez, hitting .417. His on-base is .479, and his OPS is a second best on the team of 1,051. Sanchez, 35 hits to lead Edgerton on the season, which you would anticipate out of the 3-hole. A homer and 25 runs driven in. First ball, fastball swinging. He hits it down into left field, shallow left field, and the grab made out there by Anthony Giannuzzi, and that is out number 2 in this one. Cleanup hitter Jackson Flower at .359. Really impressive numbers for a team hitting .309. Collectively, .463 on base, .912 OPS, 3 doubles, couple of triples, and 17 runs batted in. They have scored 177 runs now on the season here in game number 26. That curveball stays up and in. It is 1-0 on Jackson Flower. Staring in and now delivering home. Fastball cut on and missed by Flower. That'll even things at 1-1. Weaver on deck for the Bulldogs. We're in the bottom of the first. Edgerton on the board first, leading at 1-0 on the Andres O'Neill and Lowe scoreboard. Schimpf, high leg kick, comes set, delivers home, and this is low, 2-1. 320 down the lines here at Ray Sumpter Field. 350 to the power alleys, 370 to straightaway center. 2 balls and a strike here on Jackson Flower. The 2-1 curveball is a high bouncer. It's out in front of the plate up the first base line. Throwing low, and it'll be a low throw and skips away from Rebeck. Dempsey came up firing, but it is a low toss, and on the E2, Flower is safe. And it will be a 2-out base runner, and that'll bring up Noah Weaver for Edgerton. Noah Weaver hitting .241 with an on-base of .323. The pitch home is a breaking ball that he cuts and fouls back. .728 OPS as Weaver has hit 2 homers and driven in 20. Edgerton as a team has hit 4 home runs on the season. This is not a big running team. They'll pick and choose. They do have some team speed. They have 68 stolen bases. That's hit toward right field, and it'll be Bowman moving over toward the right center field gap to squeeze it, and out number 3. But the sacrifice fly RBI after the Maddox Baker leadoff triple And Edgerton has a 1-0 lead at the end of one. It allows us to tell you that coverage tonight is also being brought to you in this game by Jody Herman, your State Farm insurance agent in Northwest Ohio. Auto, home, life, and business. Call Jody Herman and State Farm Insurance. Also brought to you by the Eden Farmers Co-op, location in Edgerton as well as Montpelier and Eden, and they always are big supporters of high school athletics. The Edgerton Athletic Boosters saying the best of luck not only to the baseball team but those track and field athletes that are still alive and relay teams. Make sure that you check out the next Edgerton Athletic Boosters meeting. And by AG Irrigation for all of those irrigation needs. See Andy Farnham and company at AG Irrigation. And finally, coverage brought to you tonight by Route 6 Pizza Barn in Edgerton. And Route 6 Pizza Barn, perfect example. They said, yes, we want to make sure that we support you during this difficult time. So thanks to the Route 6 Pizza Barn in Edgerton, pizza, subs, appetizers, and all of those delicious things happening in Edgerton, Ohio. And I guess I should say one final time, brought to you by Jason Deach Trailers and Collision. Jason Deach is the place to go for your next trailer and all of those collision needs. That is Jason Deach Collision and Trailers of Edgerton, Ohio. 5, 6, and 7 coming up for the Cadets. Anthony Giannuzzi, Brennan Dempsey, and Micah Rossman. Giannuzzi, a freshman in the lineup, hitting .215 on the year with no homers and 13 runs batted in. Giannuzzi has also scored 13 runs as well. Right-hander against right-hander. The first offering is a fastball blazed in there for a strike at 79. Upper 70s is basically, you may see Maddox hit 80, maybe at 81, maybe, but mostly upper 70s. Another fastball that swung on and fouled back to the screen. And now it is 0-2 on Anthony Giannuzzi. Giannuzzi, the left fielder. 0-2 the count. Baker now, as Giannuzzi steps out, Baker steps out. And now both are ready. The next offering, a fastball that actually a breaking ball that just misses. It's a ball and 2 strikes now. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, hard grounder towards second. Eldon gloves, sets, throws to Weaver, and that'll be the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Brennan Dempsey to the plate. Dempsey will dig in. Dempsey, the third baseman, a right-hander in the lineup coming up. The pitch from Baker, and he hits the outside corner. Right now doing a great job of locating his pitches here and getting in front. After that, maybe that first batter, he's really starting to dial in. Brennan Dempsey, next pitch, breaking ball, and he was out in front of that right from the beginning. 197 average with no homers but 14 runs batted in, so he has had some productive hits. The next pitch is a ground ball toward third. On the second hop, Herman has it. No problem there. 2 gone. Edgerton on the season has been a pretty solid defensive team overall. You look at the runs scored, or the runs allowed on the year, 70 earned runs and 98 runs total on the season. 2 gone. The left-handed hitting Micah Rossman at the plate. He's hitting .294 on the season. The pitch is drilled for a strike. .294 average. Baker getting in front again. The 0-1 pitch is waved at and missed for strike 2. Rossman has an on-base of .429 and an OPS of .851 on the season. 0-2 the count. The next offering inside at the hands. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 down, bases empty. Top of the second inning. Edgerton an early 1-0 lead on Hilltop. Winner to face number 1 seed Montpelier Saturday afternoon at 2 in the district championship game back here at Sumpter. Baker's 1-2. No, inside, 2-2. 78 miles an hour on the fastball. Drop off to the curveball is down to the mid-60s, kind of that prototypical high school curve. 2-2 with 2 gone. The 2-2 from Baker. Fouled off by Rossman to stay in the at-bat. Miller City and Kalida are playing in another D7 District Final, and we mentioned that because the winner eventually there in that district will play our district winner Wednesday, first week of June at Carter Park in BG. Another 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and down goes Rossman, and that's the first strikeout for Maddox Baker. A 1-2-3 second inning, middle of the second here in Bryan, still 1-0, Edgerton with the lead. High school sports coverage tonight also being brought to you by State Bank and Trust Company. State Bank, banking made personal, banking that rewards. Your statebank.com. Also want to give a shout out again to Chris Malenga and BryanSports.com for loaning us their YouTube page tonight. Go to youtube.com/BryanSports. If you're somebody streaming, let somebody know that, and they can find the game tonight as we have done the made chicken salad out of chicken, you know what. Everybody knows where I'm going with that, so I don't need to finish it. But we've made chicken salad out of it. I don't know. Do the rules still apply? I'm not on the radio tonight. I'm on the Internet, and you can write anything on the Internet, John. Can you say anything on the Internet? Sure, why not? I think you probably can. That's right, and there's 50 people that are on there, and when they know the situation that we've been in, they know that we have truly made chicken salad out of the situation. But we'll leave it at that. That will bring it. Thank you, though, for tuning in tonight. And if you would, spread the word. We'll be back here again on Saturday for the district championship game. Let everybody else know that you can find the game streaming tonight. So Cameron Schimpf into his second inning of work. He'll face the center fielder, Braden Leppelmeyer, who pops it up on the right side, drifting, and out of play. Braden Leppelmeyer is hitting .319 with an on-base of .444 and an .819 OPS on the season. He has driven in 16 runs, plays a really good center field. Deep in the box, facing Schimpf. Has a strike on him now and an 0-1 count. And the 0-1 from Schimpf, down in the dirt, 1-1 your count. Again, Archibald eliminated tonight in Division 6. In D5, Swanton has been knocked out. In D6 tonight, Fairview advanced by beating Wayne Trace. Here is the 1-1. Pitch a little bit low, 2-1. Napoleon finally knows their opponent. It was suspended yesterday. Lake rolled, and they are their opponent in the district final now. Napoleon and Lake up in Division 4. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, ground ball towards short. Backhanded by Cameron Slosher. Has time, throws low. Great pick at first over there by Terry Reback to bail out Cam Slosher. And that's the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the DH, Brady Everetts. Everetts is DHing for Parker Eldon. Everetts slashing at .234, .339 on base, and a .701 OPS. Everetts has clubbed a home run and has driven in 8 on the season as he has made his way back from that third torn ACL. Just a terrific story. Got way out in front of that curveball, 0-1. A real true story of perseverance and want to. And now seeing some fruits of that labor, finally getting to compete. The 0-1 delivery from Schimpf. Fastball, tardy on that swing is Everetts, and it's now 0-2. He was unable to kind of catch up with it. Right-hander against right-hander in this matchup. The 0-2 delivery coming home. Way up high and in for ball 1. Everetts again DHing for Parker Eldon, the second baseman. Parker's brother Mason waits on deck, hoping, or will get an opportunity. There is one out and the bases are empty. 1-0 Edgerton on the Andres O'Neill and Low scoreboard. The 1-2, frame it for strike 3 on the inside corner. That'll be the first strikeout of the evening for Cameron Schimpf. It is out number 2, and it'll bring Mason Eldon to the plate. Eldon hitting .283, .370 on base and a 696 OPS. Swings and fouls it away. Has driven in 10 runs on the season. Again, 176 runs scored coming in. They've struck out 168 as a team, 168 times, and walked 107 coming into this game tonight. 0-1 on Eldon. Takes down in the dirt, ball one, 1-1. Edgerton got a triple from Maddox Baker in the first, and then Corey Herman got him in with a sacrifice fly. And that's the only run thus far. Here's Schimp's 1-1. Curveball just missed. 2 balls and a strike. Two down, bases empty. Home half of the second. 1-0 Dogs. The 2-1 pitch. It's a curveball that's up and in, and it's 3-1. Hitters count here for the number 8 hitter, Mason Eldon. 3-1. The pitch, a swing and a bouncer foul, and that will run it full at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, bases empty, 1-0 Edgerton. Schimp against Eldon. Schimp stares in, and the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs, and the Dogs go quietly in the second. Nothing across, 2 innings in the books. Edgerton 1 and Hilltop nothing. Coverage of high school sports tonight is being brought to you in part by Yarger Flegel Investment Services of Edgerton. Let our team create investment strategy tailored to you. Call Tom, Lynn, or Shelley at 419-298-2000 to schedule that free consultation. And also coverage tonight is being brought to you by United Oil for all of those fueling solutions. Wholesale gas and diesel and propane, United Oil of Northwest Ohio. And presented to you by the Hilltop Athletic Boosters, always supporting Hilltop athletes and their teams, the Hilltop Athletic Boosters. Andy Brigle back with you here at Ray Sumpter Field in Bryan. It's the district semifinals, Edgerton and Hilltop. Montpelier won game 1 over Eden, eliminating the Bombers 7-3. Locos back in the district championship game yet again, awaiting the winner. Will it be an all-BBC district final, which would be a rematch from last year, Montpelier Hilltop, or will Edgerton? It has been this core group of Edgerton athletes have had a really good overall season. Remember, a good chunk of them, pretty much all of them, a part of the basketball team that advanced to the regionals. And that's an opposite field shot. It is hooking, foul. Off the bat of Xander Runkle for Hilltop, 0-1. It's 8-9-1 for the Cadets. Xander Runkle, Brady Wagner, and then Cameron Slosher. Xander Runkle hitting .235 on the year. No homers, 14 runs batted in, has hit 3 doubles. .316 on base percentage and an OPS of .610. I've had people ask that don't follow maybe baseball or especially analytics closely what OPS is. It's on base plus slugging percentage is your OPS. Curveball outside, 1-1. Heavy part of the analytic MLB college. And a hit batsman, Runkle's aboard. Minor league world, all of that, and has trickled down and is now available. Wasn't available on everybody's stat sheets a couple of 3 years ago, but everybody takes it in play. So Runkle hit batsman, and now it'll be Brady Wagner, the number 9 hitter, hitting .241 with no homers and 5 runs batted in for Wagner, the junior. Runkle a short lead. The pitch from Wagner away, ball 1. Hilltop trying to break through here in the 3rd inning in game 2 of our doubleheader between Edgerton and Hilltop. Baker stares in, comes set at the belt. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Outfield playing fairly shallow and pretty much straight away. Actually, you look closer and real shallow, especially in right field. A good outside corner pitch that time delivered by Baker as he painted it 2-1. Even at the grass, or even at the bag and at the cut of the grass at third is Corey Herman for Wagner. Now creeping. Wagner swinging away, fouls it off. That makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Edgerton got on the board in the bottom of the first inning on a sacrifice fly by Corey Herman after Baker had tripled. 2-2 on Wagner. Baker misses outside. Good backhand of a curveball that time by Flower to save. Even Runkle would have been able to advance there, as we mentioned. Not the speediest of the cadets, but if that's in the dirt and goes back, he's standing at second. So a good backhand that time by Flower. Stepping off is Baker. 3-2. All Williams County District here again. First year in Division 7. The 3-2 from Baker, and it's down low for ball 4. So a hit batsman and a walk, and we've got runners on first and second for the Cadets, and nobody out for the leadoff man, Cameron Slosher. Are we going to see an early pinch runner? We are for Hilltop. And coming in to run, going to be Hartman. Yep. Yep, Hartman will be the pinch runner here for Hilltop. Corbin Hartman is your pinch runner at second for Runkle. So going to the well here early. We mentioned Runkle was the lead runner, so Tony Gehrig wanted to take advantage if Slusher can deal here. He's 1 for 1, infield single and a stolen base, but then was retired running from second to third to end the inning on a Shimp ground out to Herman, who just applied the tag. Here comes Baker. Nope. Yep, he will deliver. Home. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Sun is out. Some of those shadows creeping across here as we have crossed the 8 o'clock hour here on this Thursday evening. 0-1 on Cam Slusher. 1-0 Edgerton on the Andres O'Neill and Low scoreboard. Hartman, the pinch runner, at second. Wagner's at first. Baker deals. Fouled off. 0-2 now on Cam Slusher. Nobody out here in the inning. Tony Gehrig electing not to take the bat out of Slusher's hand here and play small ball and potentially bunt. Likes the way he's been swinging it. Knows he's got Terry Rebeck, Devin Dempsey, Cameron Shimp coming up next. So the big hitters in this lineup. The 0-2 pitch. It's a curveball up and in, 1-2. Slusher has the only hit for Hilltop as we are now getting into that second time through the Cadets lineup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Baker deals the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down goes Slusher. First out of the inning. Terry Rebeck came in hitting .400. Banged one hard down to third. And Corey Herman retired him nicely. Remember, it was one that ricocheted off of him, and he picked it up. Still had time to get him by about a step. Baker deals. Breaking ball driven toward right center field. Moving over is Eldon. Makes a running grab. And he lost his balance, or they may have had a tag up at second double play. That was a good play by Mason Eldon, and I think he was already getting into that throwing motion because the pinch runner, Hartman, had taken off thinking it was going to fall, and then he saw, Eldon's there. And the thing that saved him was Eldon's feet kind of sliding out from underneath him. So now 2 gone for Devin Dempsey. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to Mason Eldon in right field. So this was first and second, nobody out. Now first and second, 2 outs. Baker comes home. Fastball away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on Dempsey. He flew out to Eldon, so he's 0 for 1 in the game. Baker comes set at the belt. Ready to deal his 1-0 pitch. Delivers a strike right down Broadway, 1-1. Hilltop 12-10-1. Edgerton 15-10. Winner to get 18-5 Montpelier on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Here comes the 1-1 from Baker. The pitch swung on, fouled off the mask of Flower. And now it's 1-2, and Baker a strike away from getting out of a situation that would have had him first and second and nobody out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miller City and Kalida are playing in the district final that's opposite this district that would feed into the regional semifinal. That game will also be Saturday at 2. A couple of shutout wins there. Miller City 2-0, Kalida 6-0. Hartman at second, Wagner at first. The 1-2 from Maddox Baker. Swing and a miss. See you later. And Devin Dempsey down on strikes. First and second, nobody out, and Hilltop strands the runners there. Middle of the third here in Bryan, 1-0. Edgerton with the lead over Hilltop. Allows us to tell you that coverage is being brought to you here tonight by our good friends at Andres O'Neill & Lowe Insurance Agency. For all of those insurance needs, remember Andres O'Neill & Lowe Insurance. Also brought to you by Donaldson's Ace Hardware. Donaldson's Ace is the place. They have all of your painting needs, your grill needs, and much, much more happening at Donaldson's Ace Hardware in Bryan. And being brought to you here this evening by attorneys at law, Newcomer, Schaefer, and Breininger. They always support high school athletics. Newcomer, Schaefer, and Breininger. 1-0 Edgerton with the lead over Hilltop. We move to the bottom half of inning number 3 of high school baseball here tonight in the district semifinals. Want to give a shout out also to Nathan Keel and his crew for running, as always, a great tournament here at Sumpter, one of the most beautiful facilities that we have in Northwest Ohio. They do a great job. Corey Walker and his varsity baseball team dragged the field. They relined the field. Jason Brown was helping as well. Congratulations on a job well done here on night number 1 of the tournament here in Bryan at Sumpter. They also did a terrific job hosting the districts for Division 7 softball here last week. So did want to give them a shout out as well. We move to the bottom of the third inning, and it's 9-1-2 coming up for Edgerton. Scotty Krantz, Maddox Baker, and Corey Herman. Scotty Krantz hitting .217 on the year, no homers, 9 runs batted in, has an on base of .338 and an OPS of .555 entering play tonight. So right-handed hitting Krantz to face Schimpf here in the bottom half of the third inning, and a 1-0 Edgerton lead. The pitch missed a little bit inside. 1 ball, no strikes here on Scotty Krantz. Missed the Paulding game with an injury when we were there for that one in the regular season. The 1-0, a big cut and a miss. He wanted to send that one into the pine trees here with that rip. 1-1 now on Krantz. Schimpf deals the pitch down in the dirt, bounced about 87 feet instead of the 90. 2-1. Also wanted to pass along, I know we have a ton of Guardians fans that are missing Cleveland baseball. The 2-1 delivery, bouncing ball foul down the third base line. Let Jim Rosenhaus, our good friend, know with the Guardians, got a great message back, and they have temporarily waived all of those fees that we normally pay, and we're like the second, third longest tenured affiliate on the Guardians radio network, and we want to get them back just as soon as possible. 2-2 breaking ball. See you later. Strike 3 as Krantz eyeballs it, blow past him for the first out of the inning. So one gone, and it's back to Maddox Baker, who has Edgerton's only hit in this game, a rocket of a triple to right field. And he has scored the only run on a Corey Herman sacrifice fly. One down, bases empty. Shimp way up high. That was Nuke Lelouch territory there if you're a Bull Durham fan. That sailed from the get-go. The only thing left was hit the bull, hit the mascot. Yep. We're guys up here that knew that one for sure. Fastball that Baker a little bit behind on the swing and miss. Yeah, he did. You told him I threw. You told him what I was throwing, didn't you? 1 ball, 1 strike on Maddox Baker with 1 down and bases empty here in the third. 1-0 Edgerton. Stepping off is Shimp as he and Dempsey couldn't get on the same page. Shimp is ready. Dempsey's ready. Baker back in the box. And now your 1-1 pitch home. Pumped in there for a strike. I mean, these are pitchers here that are not going to overwhelm you with velocity, okay? But they are locating well. They're pitching to soft contact with the exception of Baker's hit so far. And it's a 1-0 game. The 1-2 tails high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Maddox Baker. Third place in the BBC, third place in the GMC, matching up here in the district semifinals. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and down goes Baker. That's 4 straight Shimp punch-outs now. Everett's to Eldon to Krantz to Baker. And now it will be Corey Herman who will dig in with 2 gone here in the third inning. And nobody on. Herman, a sacrifice fly for the game's only RBI. Edgerton, the 2 seed. Hilltop, the 4 seed. Matching up here for a second straight year in the districts. Fouled back. We mentioned 3 of the 4 teams in this district are back. The only difference, North Central was here last year, and Eden replaced them. 0-1 here on Herman. Shimp stares in, high leg kick, and comes home and misses a little bit low. That was a curveball, 1-1. One and one on Herman. Has that wide open stance on the right-hand side of the plate. The 1-1 pitch is a fastball down in the dirt off the glove of Devin Dempsey, 2-1. Again, Tim Kleck, Steve Elwood, Doug Johans, your umpires here for game number 2 of the doubleheader. All the other games in this district had 2 o'clock and 4:30, 5 o'clock start times for their 2. The 2-1 pitch, and Herman went after one way out of the strike zone, and Corey knew it right away as he misses, and it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down in the inning. Bases empty, 1-0 Edgerton on the Andres O'Neill and Lowe scoreboard. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, up and in, 3-2. Shimp gathering himself off the rubber and now climbs back on. Herman back in the box, the senior ready. Here's the 3-2. Curveball popped up, foul territory, drifting, and no play for Dempsey. It's in Souvenir City off to the right side. So 3-2 it remains on Corey Herman. Mentioned Tony Gehrig as head coach, a grad of Hilltop. 3 of the 4 coaching their alma maters in this district. The only one not is Mike Gillen, who played and stood out, had a nice career at Napoleon. Swung on, driven toward center field. Should be a good playable ball for Wagner, and he moves over toward the gap, and that is going to be the final out of the inning. A 1-2-3 third, and after 3, still 1-0. Edgerton leading Hilltop. Coverage of high school baseball tonight also being brought to you by Also being presented to you tonight by Camco of West Unity. Start your career today. If you're looking to switch careers, check out Camco in West Unity. Also brought to you by Peltz Lumber Company in Montpelier and Pioneer, building for a new generation. All of your building supply needs and more available at Peltz Lumber Company. If you're looking for your next dream home, give Misty King a call today or check things out on what's available at AmerimadeRealty.com. It's Amerimade Realty, proud supporters of high school sports. Also, Misty, proud owners of Mad Ox Men's Emporium and Elianne's Boutique. They help bring us coverage of high school sports all season long. If you need some heating and cooling needs as well as plumbing needs, then the number to call and check out is Stark's Plumbing and Heating. Go to starksphs.com. For all of your appliance and furniture needs, remember Direct Link Appliances and Furniture, east of Bryan, out on East High Street. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, member-owned and locally minded at Midwest Community Federal Credit Union. And finally, coverage brought to you by Black Swamp Equipment for all of those rental needs, your Toro needs, your steel needs, Porta-John needs, and much, much more. See Black Swamp Equipment, Bryan Archibald Defiance in Adrian, Michigan. So, 3 innings in the books, 1-0 our score. Edgerton on top of Hilltop. 4, 5, and 6 for the Cadets here. Cameron Shimp, Anthony Giannuzzi, and Brennan Dempsey to face Maddox Baker, who delivers one for a swing and a miss and a strike. Shimp, remember, grounded to third to Herman, and Slusher had already committed to come from second to third in a quick tag, and that's what ended the inning. That was in Shimp's at bat. He crushes one toward left field. Krantz is going back, just shy of the track, makes the grab. Good swing on it by Shimp, but it ends up being just a long fly out to left, and the first out of this 4th inning. Anthony Giannuzzi, the freshman 5-hitter, is an 0-for-1 night so far with a ground out to second. Edgerton winners of 5 of 6, 7 of their last 9. Hilltop has won 2 straight. Take the tie out of there. That was a game called. They added the game with Eden, and darkness fell, and they didn't want to dig into pitching, and so they called it mutually. 3 of their last 4 as that pitch to Giannuzzi is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. The count on Giannuzzi. The pitch, a little bit low for a ball. Two balls and no strikes, a swing and a foul tip. It's now 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike here on Anthony Giannuzzi. And the next pitch from Baker, missed a little bit outside, 3-1. Three and one on Anthony Giannuzzi. And the hitter's count pitch tails wide for ball 4. So Giannuzzi draws a 1-out walk to get the tying run aboard for Hilltop here in the 4th inning. It'll be Brennan Dempsey, the third baseman, who grounded out to his counterpart at third, Corey Herman, in his first appearance at the plate. So he is 0-for-1 thus far. Baker will check Giannuzzi. Creeping, the pitch home, and it's a wild pitch, and moving to second now will be Giannuzzi into scoring position. It is a Hilltop team that came in as the lowest base running or base stealing team. They had only swiped 44 bags. This is not a speedy offensive team. Tony Gehrig has a good hitting team, fouled back by Dempsey, 1-1, but not the fastest on the base pass. They have a couple that are okay, but they don't. You got to know your strengths and weaknesses, and if you only steal basically 2 bases a game, then at the high school level particularly, then you know your team, and Tony knows his team very well. 1-1 from Baker. Swung on, ground ball towards short. Charging, getting it is Sanchez. Fires across and gets Dempsey for the second out of the inning. Kellen Sanchez plays a smooth shortstop, and that is out number 2. Moving to third was Giannuzzi. And now it will be Micah Rossman. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. One of 3 strikeouts so far. Getting a lead at first is Giannuzzi. Baker will go from the windup now. And comes set and home. Final ground ball, and it's going to be backhanded. Sanchez can't do anything about it. He knocked it down, but Giannuzzi has tied it at 1. See ball, hit ball. Micah Rossman went the opposite way, and it's an infield single and an RBI. And it'll be Eldon, the second baseman, who makes the grab to retire Runkle and to retire the side. However, Rossman drives in the tying run. We are halfway home at Ray Sumpter Field in Bryan with the Bears. Or with the Bears. Yeah, home of the Bryan Bears, but with the Bulldogs and the Cadets deadlocked at 1. Time now for a Main Stops of Northwest Ohio mid-game report. The Main Stops of Northwest Ohio, your best stop is always a Main Stop. Well, offensively, it's easy. Maddox Baker with a triple in the first. Corey Herman, a sacrifice fly. That was hitters 1 and 2. There's Edgerton's run. Hilltop just got their first run of the game. It was a walk to Giannuzzi. A wild pitch moved him to second. A ground out slid him over to third. And then Micah Rossman's infield single drove him home to tie this thing at 1. It is a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. We have 3 combined hits in the game. For Hilltop, they are both infield singles, Cameron Slosher and Micah Rossman. Meanwhile, for Edgerton, it's that Maddox Baker triple for their only hit of the game. So Shimp and Baker are pitching extremely well here in this 1-1 game. That's your mid-game update, brought to you by the Main Stops of Northwest Ohio. The best stop is always a Main Stop. Also, coverage tonight being brought to you by our friends at BSN Sports. Your game day starts with BSN Sports, your team gear, uniform, and equipment headquarters. We tip our caps to every school, coach, and parent who make this season, or who have made this season, unforgettable. Thank you for trusting us to gear up your team at BSN Sports. Heart of the order for the Dogs, Kellen Sanchez, Jackson Flower, Noah Weaver to face Shimp. Sanchez 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. Shimp, first pitch of the inning, is popped up, foul territory, twisting first base side and out of play. 0-1 on Kellen Sanchez. Again, we come back here on Saturday afternoon at 2. The Bryan Lady Bears you'll hear and see on BryanSports.com tomorrow at 5 as they go for another trip to the Final Four. Third straight regional final and playing Lexington. That is hammered toward left field. It's over Giannuzzi's head. It'll bounce all the way to the wall. Sanchez cruises into second with a stand-up double. Smoked by Sanchez down the left field line, and the leadoff double has the Bulldogs in business. Took advantage of a Shimp hanger in the zone. And now a chance for the Bulldogs. Here's Jackson Flower coming to the plate. Flower reached on a throwing error his first time up. He's the cleanup hitter with a big RBI opportunity here. Shimp from the stretch. It's a breaking ball, popped up, foul territory, and will Dempsey have a play? No, he won't. Over by the old, I look over there too, by the way, here at Sumpter, the old press box at Bryan, and when started doing games 33 years ago, everybody was in that booth. You had PA, you had the scoreboard operator, you had us, and by the way, we were the only radio station in all of Northwest Ohio back then consistently doing baseball, and you look over there now and think, how in the world did we cram bodies in there? And one of those bodies was Heiss. So how did we cram everybody? I kid because I care, Heiss. 0-1 the count on Leppelmeyer. Swing and a miss. Braden way out in front of that one. 0-2. Leadoff double by Sanchez. 1-1 game in the fourth. 7-3 Montpelier won our opener. In command really from the get-go of that one. Here's the pitch. Swinging and ground ball to Slusher. Bobbles it at short. Should still have time. Got him by a half step. The bobble made it closer. Flower is thrown out. On the throw, Sanchez comes to third. One down in the inning. It's Noah Weaver, who does possess power. If you missed his first time through, he has hit a couple of home runs. One out, one on. Weaver flew out to Flint Bowman. If he flew that way this time, it would do the trick. Tony Gehrig bringing the infield in. And Weaver takes a breaking ball down and away. Ball one. Edgerton won. Hilltop won. Bottom of the fourth inning. 1-0 count on Noah Weaver. Right-hander against right-hander. Leading run is at third in Sanchez. Swung on, and it's a liner into center. Caught, and Wagner will come in. Not nearly in time. Sanchez tags and scores. And a second sacrifice fly RBI in this one. And the Bulldogs retake the lead 2-1. That is doing your job, not once in this game, but twice. Get them on, get them over, get them in by any means necessary. And a pair of sacrifice fly RBIs have Edgerton in front 2-1. 2 gone in the inning as that pitch to Braden Leppelmeyer is in the dirt for ball one. 1-0 on Braden Leppelmeyer. 0 for 1 with a ground out to Slusher at short. Both teams with 2 hits in this game, with the only error being committed thus far by Hilltop. Strike delivered to Leppelmeyer. It is a ball and a strike now. Again, this entire game has been a little bit different than the first game in the fact there's been no breeze. I mean, that flag is not moving. 2-1 on Leppelmeyer. Outfield fairly shallow all the way around. Breaking ball clubbed into the air to right field. Drifting back, Flint Bowman camps out under it, and that will retire Leppelmeyer, retire the Bulldogs in this inning. But Edgerton able to retake the lead on that sacrifice fly RBI, and it is a 2-1 game through 4 innings of baseball. High school baseball coverage tonight being brought to you in part by Everett's Farms in Edgerton, Ohio. They have been Bulldog supporters through all kinds of sports, both male, female, and all sports at Edgerton and athletes. Everett's Farms is there to support the Edgerton Bulldogs. Coverage tonight also presented to you by Jody Herman, your State Farm insurance agent. Auto, home, life, and business. See Jody Herman, your State Farm insurance agent. Eden Farmers Co-op, who has a location in Edgerton and in Game 1. Locations were in Montpelier and Eden, serving all of your grain needs and more at the Eden Farmers Co-op. The Edgerton Athletic Boosters support all Edgerton athletes and athletics and wish not only tonight's Bulldogs luck, but all the track athletes happening going on tomorrow in the regional finals. And brought to you by AG Irrigation Systems, where AG is behind Edgerton as well in this game and many. We want to thank the advertisers from all 4 towns, our normal advertisers. Nobody batted an eye when we said, hey, all we can do is the best we can do, and that is stream this thing on youtube.com/Bryan Sports. And everybody said, count us in because our community comes together. First ball, fastball, popped up. Wagner, third baseman Herman camps out under it. 1 pitch, and there's the first out of the 5th inning of this one on a pop out to third. We're back to the top of the Hilltop order now, and Cameron Slusher. Slusher 1 for 2 with an infield single and a strikeout. So he is 1 for 2, coming back here for the 3rd time through the order. 1 down, base is empty. The Shadows now basically on the mound. Swung on, hard ground ball, just foul. Slusher got a good rip at that one, 1-1. That slice of sun, basically third base right across where the pitchers are. That's that sun that's on them, and then first baseman getting a little of it. Lights are on here at Sumpter, but nothing in the shadows up near home plate anymore. We're deep enough into the night. 1-1 coming from Baker as he rocks and fires. Missed a little bit outside with that fastball. Again, consistently upper 70s. About 75 to 78. We'll run it to 79. I think he's touched 80 once. 2-1 the count. Baker, pitch, swung on, off the hands. Roller toward Eldon at second. Gloves, throws to first to Weaver, 2 gone. Both teams have played pretty stellar defense. Game 1, that was a storyline. Eden, unofficially, we had them for 7 errors. Throwing, fielding errors in that game. Montpelier, again, as we said in that game, you leave that door slightly open or give Montpelier extra outs, that lengthy lineup will cash in, and boy, they did in a 7-3 win. Here's Reback. He cuts and misses. He swings like it's going toward the flag in center field. I mean, he has a powerful, violent type swing that he gets through those hands through the zone fast and aggressively. He's in an 0-2 hole here, though, now with 2 down and the bases empty in the 5th. 2-1 Edgerton on the Andres O'Neill and Low scoreboard. 0-2 on Reback. Right-hander against right-hander, and now Baker going to step off the rubber. He and Flower trying to get on the same page and do. 0-2 the count. The pitch. Curveball away. 1-2. Got to make sure you don't make a mistake here with Reback. Came in at 400. Got that average up. I did a couple of Hilltop games, and he had some hard luck outs in those games. 1-2, called strike 3 on the outside corner. Terrific. That's what you like to call the real estate pitch that time by Maddox Baker. Location, 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 as he framed up Reback on the outside corner for strike 3. Nothing across in that inning, middle of the 5th. Edgerton leading it by the score of 2-1. Baseball tournament coverage tonight brought to you by Jason Deach, Trailers and Collision for your trailer needs. And if you need that collision repair, give Jason and the crew a call at Jason Deach, Trailers and Collision. Your State Bank at yourstatebank.com. State Bank, banking made personal, banking that rewards. The State Bank and Trust Company. And finally, brought to you by Route 6 Pizza Barn in Edgerton, offering delicious pies, subs, appetizers, and more at the Route 6 Pizza Barn in Edgerton, Ohio. We are getting into the late stages of this one, and it is a 2-1 game. I think coming in, we may have thought there'd be a little more run production, a little more offense in this game, but both pitchers have done their job on the mound. Edgerton, a couple of sacrifice fly RBIs, and Micah Rossman, an infield single RBI here in this one. As we move deeper into this game here tonight, Montpelier awaits the winner coming up on Saturday afternoon. It will be the bottom third of this Edgerton lineup to face Cameron Schimpf, Brady Everetts, Mason Eldon, Scotty Krantz, as we move to the bottom half of inning number 5 in a 2-1 game. Righty-righty matchup. Earlier this year when we did Hilltop, it was Cameron Slusher who started as the number 1. Tony Gehrig said as much, but said Schimpf was a really solid choice for him at number 2 and getting the ball tonight here in this tournament game. Edgerton has options as well. Swung on, and Everetts with a shot into center field for a base hit. Brady Everetts gets the inning started here. Saw a fastball and clubbed it into center for a leadoff single for Edgerton. That'll bring up Mason Eldon, the number 8 hitter. Back to the Edgerton pitching options. You get Corey Herman. If they get through, you would assume Corey Herman coming up on Saturday for Edgerton, although Krantz, who was, although injured in that Paulding game, may have started, he said. Mike Gillen popped up. That'll twist into foul territory. Reback camps out under it, and the pop out by Eldon on the foul out. And Reback has it for the first out. 2 pitches in the inning. We have a sharp single and now a foul out. And now, speaking of Krantz, he will dig in, struck out looking. Brennan Dempsey even with the bag at third. Outfield continuing to play shallow, although we are at the bottom of the order, so that does make a little sense. Fastball delivered for a strike. 0-1 here on Scotty Krantz. Top of the order coming around. 2-1 Dogs on the Andres O'Neill and Lowe scoreboard, home half of the fifth. Shimp's 0-1. Down in the dirt, bounces away from Dempsey. He can't locate it, and Everett's will dig for second, and he's into scoring position. Wild pitch. Not a thing Dempsey could do about it, but it could have been a lot worse because it bounced away from him and he had trouble locating it. Now a visit to the mound from the Hilltop pitching coach to try to maybe settle Shimp a little bit here. 2 runs on 3 hits for Edgerton, 1 run on 2 hits and an error for Hilltop. Cadets came in at 12-10-1, Edgerton 15-10 on the season. By the way, as I get our chance to broadcast for the first time since Friday, although that was on radio airwaves for the final time, here on YouTube, on youtube.com/Bryan Sports. Got a nice email. Also want to give the OHSAA a shout out. I bang on them enough for some poor decisions that they make, but want to thank Tim Streed waiving our rights fees all around for both BNO and QCT games that we have done and are doing. The 1-1 squaring and yanking it back is Krantz. Tim, a great dude and wonderful to work with for us in the media, so big shout out to Tim Streed for doing that. If you're going to bang on them, you got to praise them. 2-1 when they do something really good for you. 2-1 with Everett's at second. 1 gone. Stepping off the rubber is Shimp. Now we'll climb back on the rubber. Digging in at the plate is Krantz. Again, 0-for-1 with a strikeout. The 2-1. It's a curveball, and he lunges at a bunt. Can't get it down. Everett's retreats to second, and it'll even it at 2-2. Mike Gillen knows that the way the game is going so far, you have a 2-1 game in the bottom of the 5th inning. Any insurance run is huge. Get him over if they can. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Stepping off, it'll wait just a moment. 2-2 on Scotty Krantz. Coming set at the belt is Shimp. The 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A huge second out. But one of the top 2 or 3 hitters on the team, and obviously he's leading things off, so that says it enough, but just the numbers back it up. It's Baker at the plate. 1 for 2 with a triple and a run scored. Everett's had a leadoff single. Eldon then fouled out. Krantz struck out. Can Shimp get off the hook here with no damage? Breaking ball up and away. 1-0 here on Maddox Baker. Two balls and a strike. I'm sorry, 2-1 the score. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball missed outside and high. Now it is 2-0. Want to make sure we get that right. 2-0 is the count. 2-1 is the score. Edgerton in the lead here in the bottom half of inning number 5. Hilltop's only guaranteed to get through the Hart one more time, and that's when they bat next. They hope to be up there with it still a 2-1 game. Hitters count 2-0, and inside, ball 3. Well, it's your leadoff guy. Be one of the guys that you would consider green lighting here if you're Mike Gillen. I would think any of these 2 or 3. Here's the 3-0. It was taking all the way, and it is a strike, 3-1. Still in charge of this count now. Everett still at second with 2 down in the inning, and Edgerton clinging to a 2-1 lead here on the Andres O'Neill and Lowe scoreboard. 3-1 on Baker. Righty-lefty matchup. Shimp comes home. Breaking ball, missed outside, ball 4. So now first and second and 2 down for Corey Herman. He's officially 0 for 1 in this game. Flew out to center, but in that first at bat, sacrifice fly RBI that scored Baker. If you're just tuning in, that is how Edgerton has scored both their runs. A Herman sac fly RBI and a Weaver sac fly RBI. Shimp delivers. Curveball roped into left field for a base hit. Everett is going to be stopped at third, and that was because Giannuzzi was playing shallow enough, and it had to be station to station. There was no other decision that Mike Gillen had there. Giannuzzi came up, played it well, got it in quickly. Don't want to run yourself out of an inning, not when you have the bases full of Bulldogs and your best hitter at the plate right now. He is number one in almost all the categories, and that's Kellen Sanchez. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. From the windup now is Shimp. He comes home. Fastball a little bit low, maybe, or touch outside. It's 1-0. Big moment in this game. That is a one-run game right now in the fifth. Edgerton trying to cash in here. Shimp's 1-0. Down in the dirt. Great stop by Dempsey to keep the runners there. 2-0 the count. Everett's at third. Baker at second. Herman at first. 2-0 pitch. Sanchez hits it off the end of the bat, nubs it foul over to the right. 2-1. Had a good cut, but just didn't time it and barrel it. It was off the end of the bat. 2-1 now the count. Shimp stares in. He and Dempsey working to get on the same page, and not, as he'll step off the rubber and now is ready to go. 2, and now a timeout, and now Dempsey going to go out and talk to him and make sure. You don't want, this is too big of a situation in this game, in a 2-1 baseball game, to not have the right pitch in this situation. Baseball coverage tonight is also being brought to you by Yarger Flegel Investments. Yarger Flegel will partner with you on your investment journey. 298-2000 to schedule that free consultation. Of course, 419-298-2000. Right-hander against right-hander, ready to begin again. Bases loaded, 2 down in the inning. Here comes Shimp's 2-1 pitch home. Swung on, ground ball up the middle. Runkle has it at second, throws to first, and he threw wide. Everett will score. Baker will score. Sanchez goes to second on the throwing error, and a couple of unearned runs make it 4-1 Edgerton. Runkle had the play, but then threw wide, and 2 runners are in. Herman is at third now. As we said, Sanchez went to second. High school level, any level of baseball, but particularly at the high school level, I know, particularly at the high school level, make the defense, put pressure on the defense, make them make plays. Upstairs, ball 1. You also have to come into play there. Runkle's momentum was taking him towards second. Instead of even making the play, he could step on the base at second and got out of that inning. But decided to make the play, throw to first, and threw it wide. That was a second Hilltop air. Popped up toward right field. Flint Bowman now running in, makes the grab. Looked like he misjudged that maybe initially, but did come in and make it to retire Jackson Flower. Edgerton gets 2, and they strand 2 in the inning. 5 complete in the district semifinals. Edgerton 4 and Hilltop 1. Coverage of high school baseball tonight. Going to run through these are the people that have made high school sports possible for you all season long. Football, basketball, baseball. We want to thank them big time. Andres, O'Neill & Lowe Insurance, Donaldson's Ace Hardware, Newcomer Schaefer Breininger, Camco of West Unity, Peltz Lumber Company, Amerimaid Realty. Also brought to you by Maddox Men's Emporium, Ellie Ann's Boutique, Stark's Plumbing and Heating, Direct Link Appliances and Furniture, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, and Black Swamp Equipment. Also our live read sponsors all year, Allied Molded Products, Bryan Ford Lincoln, the main stops of Northwest Ohio, and Best One Tire and Service. Baseball coverage moving to the 6th inning now of this district semifinal. Hilltop down to their final 6 outs. Maddox Baker has pitched a gem. He has allowed just 1 run on 2 hits. Shimp has been good as well. He's given up 4, but a couple of those runs are unearned. He's only allowed 3 hits in this game and is trailing 4-1. We mentioned heart of the Hilltop order, 3-4-5. Devin Dempsey, Cameron Shimp, Anthony Giannuzzi ready to face Baker. It'll be Dempsey first, who is 0 for 2 with a fly out to right and a strikeout. Montpelier awaits the winner in a terrific district final either way coming up on Saturday. Fastball fouled back by Dempsey, 0-1. I want to thank their coaches of these teams also for prepping us for this district tournament. The 0-1 to Dempsey misses, 1-1. Tony Gehrig, Mike Gillen in this game. Hilltop Edgerton respectively. Toby Hutchison and Bryan Moore in game 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back, 1-2. We are blessed in this area. I've said this for 33 years, whether it's coaches, ADs, any other admin. We work with the best schools, the best administrators, the best athletic directors and coaches that just make our job extremely easy. When you need something, you ask something, they do it. Here's the 1-2 from Baker. The pitch, up and away, 2-2. You do get the occasional coach who struggles with some technology and forgets to attach stats. Name shall be remain nameless. Here's the 2-2 from Baker. Swung on, ground ball toward third. Charging is Herman. Plenty of time. Guns it across, out number 1. Again, inducing soft contact. Really, both pitchers have done that for the most part, but Baker in particular. He doesn't, there is nothing about Maddox Baker in terms of the velocity that wows you. But it's almost tonight anyways, and don't take it that I'm comparing him, but it's almost like a Greg Maddox type effort in the fact that he's just all around the strike zone. And I say that, and that's one that he does miss low and away to Shimp. But for the most part, he's around the strike zone. He's inducing soft contact. He's getting in front of hitters, and all of that adds up to success. And then you throw in the good defense behind him. The 1-0. Shimp takes a fastball low and inside, ball 2. And you can't have one without the other. And Edgerton has been, so far, flawless defensively. 2-0 the count on Shimp. Up and in, and now it's 3-0. Cameron Shimp, the cleanup guy. If you're going to green light anybody at 3-0, it would be him. He's 0 for 2 in this game. Last time up, flew out to left. Here's the delivery. Outside, ball 4, and a 4-pitch walk issued to Shimp. That is just the third walk of the game issued by Baker. He's also hit a batter. And now a visit to the mound by Mike Gilland. It also allows us to tell you that your tournament coverage of all games in the tournament being brought to you by BSN Sports. Your game day starts with BSN Sports, your team gear, uniform, and equipment headquarters. We tip our caps to every school, coach, and parent who has made this season so unforgettable. Thank you for trusting us to gear up your team at BSN Sports. Mike Gillen bringing his infield also into the mound as well. That was like game 1 with Kenneth Smeltzer. That wasn't a visit then and not a visit now to even think of removing. It's just a conversation to talk about the situation, maybe settle Maddox down just a little bit. 4-1 Edgerton on the Andres O'Neill and Low scoreboard. The pitch to Giannuzzi, missed outside for ball 1. Shimp, who just drew the walk, is at first. Slusher is throwing for Hilltop. Baker ready to deal the 1-0. There goes the runner. Pitch outside. Flower the throw down, and in time. Shimp is gunned down at second. It's a bang-bang Jackson Flower play. First, and this is so underrated in the catching game, I think anyways, particularly at the high school level. The footwork was spectacular. He came up and ready to fire that ball immediately, and the footwork got him to spring into action, and then the rifle to gun him down at second. Just a great play by Flower all around for the second out. It's a 2-0 count, I believe, now on Giannuzzi. Giannuzzi walked last time up and is grounded out to second. He takes a strike. He's taking all the way, now 2-1. Top of the 6th inning, 4-1 Edgerton. 2 down, bases empty. 3-1 count on Giannuzzi. Here comes the pitch. Called strike 2. Giannuzzi thought it was ball 4. That'll run the count full here. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 down in the inning. Baker just missed. Ball 4. So that is back-to-back walks, but of course Schimpf was caught stealing. Baker is going to check on Giannuzzi again. He straightens. Comes home. Dempsey takes a strike. 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Brennan Dempsey. Baker looks over that left shoulder. Peeks again. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Dempsey behind on that cut. And now it's 1-2 on the number 6 hitter for Hilltop, Brennan Dempsey. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Giannuzzi, who walked, gets his lead at first. Baker comes set at the belt. The pitch. Breaking ball inside. 2-2. Did miss by a bunch. 2-2. Edgerton 15 wins, the number 2 seed. Hilltop a 12-win season, the number 4 seed here in the Division 7 District Semifinals. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. The pitch, low and away, and it's a wild pitch. Got away from Flower, cruising into second. Will be Giannuzzi. So now he's into scoring position with Hilltop down 4-1. And it is a 2-2 count. I think they have just solidified that it is 2-2, not 3-2. It's 2-2. We had a couple of count issues in the first game. We said 2-2 a moment ago. Here's another 2-2 pitch. Down low, and it's ball 3. So now 3-2 on Brennan Dempsey. Giannuzzi, the runner at second. 4-1 Edgerton, 6th inning. Baker looks, peeks at second. Here he comes to the plate. Down low, ball 4. 3 straight walks. Hilltop is now, and Edgerton, well, Edgerton is very grateful for the throw out at second to get a second out, because Baker, this has been his worst inning on the mound. He's got 3 straight walks. Tying run coming to the plate in the form of Micah Rossman, who's 1 for 2 with an infield single and has Hilltop's only RBI in the game. Hit that one into the hole that Sanchez got to, but didn't have really an opportunity to throw out. Giannuzzi was at third and scored Hilltop's only run. But now Rossman is representing the tying run. Baker trying to get out of this jam that has been self-induced. 2 out, 2 on. Comes home. Rossman takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. A walk to Giannuzzi, a walk to Dempsey. 4-1 Edgerton, 6th inning. Rossman digs in, righty-lefty matchup. The 1-strike pitch. Called strike 2. That has been a consistent corner tonight. We've seen some reactions from both teams' hitters, but it has been consistently called both ways. The outside corner, no matter if it's a righty or lefty hitting. The 0-2 coming up from Baker. The pitch. Good night, Sweet Prince. Sit down, strike 3. Inning is over. Hilltop gets 2 runners. Actually, they get 3 total aboard in the inning. 1 was erased with a caught stealing, but they strand 2 and get the punch out of the tying run at the plate. Middle of the 6th inning here at Sumpter in Bryan. 4-1 Bulldogs on top in this one. We had a chance earlier to tell you about our high school sports every game sponsors. Tonight in the Edgerton Hilltop game, we run through them one more time and thank them for their graciousness in sponsoring this game tonight. They are Yarger Flegel Investment Services, United Oil, the Hilltop Athletic Boosters, Everett's Farms, Jody Herman, your State Farm insurance agent, the Eden Farmers Co-op, Edgerton Athletic Boosters, AG Irrigation System, Jason Dietz Trailers and Collision, State Bank Company, and Route 6 Pizza. Thanks for being with us here tonight. We move to the home half of the 6th inning. Edgerton up 5-1 in this one, and a game that is moving deeper and deeper into that white knuckle time, well, for both teams. You're up or down, whatever it might be, but Edgerton has a goal here. We always say it when you come down, not their last at bat, but their last at bat potentially when they have the lead. Can they add to the lead? Any and all insurance is. Cam Slusher is ready if needed. Shimp, though, will come out into the inning to face Noah Weaver, Braden Leppelmeyer, and Brady Everett. It's 5, 6, and 7 for the Bulldogs coming up here. The first pitch from Shimp is a breaking ball that is inside for ball 1. Also stayed high. 1 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 2 runs in the fifth for Edgerton. Hilltop has scored their only run tonight in the 4th inning. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball in the dirt. It is 2-0. Going to be a short leash, I'm sure. Scotty Krantz is throwing for Edgerton, by the way, down in their bullpen. If any kind of trouble probably happens, it's a bouncing ball toward the hole into left field for a base hit. A single for Noah Weaver, who already had a sacrifice fly RBI. He's now officially 1 for 2 in the game. And it starts things here, and is that the short leash we were talking about? Is Shimp's night done? Tony Gehrig to the mound, and it looks like that's the case. Cameron Slusher will be the new pitcher for Hilltop, it appears. Slusher had been loosening. See any defensive alignment changes here that potentially come up while we see how that unfolds. We look at what has happened on the season for Cameron Slusher. Slusher 2-4 with a 4 ERA, an even 4. This will be his 12th appearance of the season. He has pitched 35 innings, allowed 30 runs, 20 of them earned, 33 hits, struck out 52, and walked 19 batters. He has hit a couple of batters as well on the season as he comes in relief here in the inning of this one. Game 1 captured by Montpelier, 7-3 over Eden. So the number 1 seed is already through. Edgerton, the 2 seed, Hilltop, the 4 seed. One of them will join them. Right now it's the Dogs up 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning and trying to build on that lead here. 4 runs on 4 hits. A Baker triple, a Herman single, a Sanchez double, actually 5 hits, a Weaver single, and an Everett single. So 4 runs on 5 hits in this game. Hilltop has a Cameron Slusher infield single in this game, a Micah Rossman infield single in this game, and that's it for them. They've been on base a few more times. There were 3 walks in that most recent inning, but never able to scratch anybody out. Shimp will move to third, and Dempsey will go to short. So Cameron Shimp, your third baseman, Brennan Dempsey, the shortstop now for Hilltop as the defensive changes. Of course, Slusher from the stretch. The pitch home is outside for a ball to Braden Leppelmeyer. 0 for 2 on the game. Leppelmeyer grounded out to short and flew out to Flint Bowman in right. Here's the 1-0 pitch home. Swung on, hammered towards center field. Long run over into the gap for Wagner, and he makes the grab. Brady Wagner potentially just stole a hit away from Leppelmeyer. He was shaded over to right center, and the long run for Wagner records a first out of the inning. Here comes Brady Everett now for the Dogs. 1 for 2 on the game with a single and a strikeout. He has scored one of those Edgerton runs. He was part of that. He was a bases loaded situation and was able to come in and score part of Edgerton's 2-run 5th inning. Hitting here in the bottom of the 6th inning with 1 out and 1 on. facing Slusher for the first time. It's a sharp slider that's cut on and missed. 0-1 on Brady Everett's. That had some movement on it from Slusher. A little bit more crisp of a breaking ball than Shimp, perhaps. Not sure if Slusher throws as hard. We'll keep an eye on the velocity. Here's the 0-1 to Everett's. Swung on, ground ball, chopped toward third. Shimp gloves, throws to second and throws, airmails it into right field. Bowman, a great job of backing up the play. But Everett's is aboard. That was a fielder's choice E5. As Shimp commits the third Hilltop air. And now Edgerton first and second. And it'll be Bryce Schrader who is going to pinch hit here for Mason Eldon. Schrader hitting .273 with 8 RBIs on the year. He hits here with runners on first and second and 1 down still in the inning. Extra outs. We saw Eden give Montpelier extra outs in our opener tonight. And the Locos were very grateful in getting those and cashing in on those. And now Edgerton trying to do the same thing here again. They did it in that 5th inning where those runs were unearned runs for Edgerton as they extended a 2-1 game to 4-1. Weaver at second, Everett's at first. Schrader takes a pitch away for ball 1. He is hitting for Mason Eldon. Krantz is on deck, and he had already loosened in the bullpen. 1-0 on Bryce Schrader. Right-hander against right-hander. Slusher's pitch is up at the eyes, 2-0. Slusher trying to find it here, and if you're a Hilltop fan, you need him to. Now the field umpires are going to come together for a conversation about something. They're okay now. They are all set. It's been Tim Kleck, Steve Elwood, and Doug Johans working tonight's game. 2-0 the count. Hitters count here for Schrader. And stumbling off the mound was Slusher on a pitch in the dirt, and it's 3-0. On the follow-through, you could see Slusher already starting to lose his balance. Now you wonder, did he tweak anything, an ankle or anything on the landing? Because that was awkward looking from the beginning. 3-0 on Schrader. Three balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball hummed in there. Now 3-1. Again, it's Weaver at second. Everett's at first. 1 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. Edgerton trying to add to their 4-1 lead here in this district semifinal. The 3-1, a swing and a miss. Huge cut at that one by Bryce Schrader. 3-2 now. A payoff pitch situation here. Again, Krantz on deck. Coming set at the belt is Slusher. 3-2. Swung on, ground ball, hard grounder up the middle, backhanded by Runkle, flips to second, the turn not in time, it'll bounce away from Reback. Weaver will score. So they get the runner at second. It's a fielder's choice, 4-6, but then the E on the throw is a 4th error. And now they're going to pinch run for Bryce Schrader at first. Going to run will be Mason Eldon, who is basically re-entering here. So Schrader put it in play, made him play defense. Weaver scored the run. And Everett's ended up scoring the run as well, I beg your pardon, too. Or check that, beg your pardon. Everett's was retired. Weaver scored the run. They got Everett's on the fielder's choice. All right, so there we go. I want to make sure I got my bookkeeping right. Weaver scored the 5th run. It's 5-1 Edgerton. 2 down in the inning. The throw was on the trying to complete a double play, and that throw sailed. So that's your E6. Krantz 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Swings and fouls it away, 0-1. So there's a little insurance. See what Mike Gillen will elect to do. Does Maddox Baker go out for the complete game? Do they go to Krantz? Krantz is ready. I say Baker gets a shot, even with the 3 walks that he had. 0-1 the count. Pitch down in the dirt is a wild pitch, and Eldon will go to second. So he's in scoring position with Edgerton in front, 5-1. Eldon at second, 2 down. Slusher in relief of Shimp. The next pitch is a fastball and ripped up the middle for a base hit by Scotty Krantz. Eldon being waved around. Slusher cut, throw high. Tag is applied, though, and Eldon is out at the plate. Great relay. It was a high throw, and Brennan Dempsey did a terrific job in getting the tag down. So officially, it is 8-3-2 on the putout at the plate. Great job on that entire relay. Mike Gillen was trying to be aggressive and get that 6th run, but he'll have to settle for 1. Last chance time for the Hilltop Cadets and Tony Gehrig now as they trail it 5-1. And it will be Scotty Krantz going to the mound to finish this thing. We can tell you about Scotty Krantz on the mound this season. He is 2-0 with a 3.5 ERA. Krantz has pitched 26 innings. This will be his 9th appearance of the season. He also has a save, and this, of course, is an opportunity to shut the door here in this one. He's allowed, although maybe not a save situation, 5-1, probably not a save situation. He's allowed 17 runs, 13 of them earned, 22 hits, has struck out 29, walked 21, and has hit 3 batters. Again, a 3.50 ERA for Scotty Krantz. Who will he see? He will see the bottom part of this Hilltop order, at least the first 2 batters, due up Xander Runkle, Brady Wagner, and then Cameron Slusher to face Krantz in this one. Baker will be the shortstop. Maddox Baker, the shortstop now. In, let's see, right field for Edgerton is Parker Eldon. Probably, and in left field is Mason Eldon. So Mason Eldon now in left. Parker Eldon is in right. And Sanchez would stay on the infield then and move over to second. So there you go. Krantz on the mound, Sanchez at second, Baker at short, and the Eldon's in the corner outfield spot. Mason in left, Parker Eldon in right. Xander Runkle hit by a pitch and popped out, so officially 0-for-1. The right-hander Scotty Krantz towing the first base side of the rubber. Rocks and fires, and the pitch is down in the dirt, ball 1. Good 6 strong innings from Maddox Baker, in line for the win. Allowed just the 1 run and a couple of hits. Right now, 4 is looming on the board for Hilltop in terms of the number of errors. Eden had 7 in game 1. 2-0 now. 2-0 the count on Runkle. Does Hilltop have a little 7th inning magic? 2-0 pitch, and he missed outside, ball 3. 3-0 on Xander Runkle. Edgerton single runs in the first, 4th, and 6th, and a pair of runs in the 5th inning. Hilltop scored only in the 4th. A pitch that misses outside with a fastball, and it is a 4-pitch walk to Xander Runkle. Here comes Brady Wagner to the plate. Wagner is 0-for-1 officially with a walk in this game. Walked his first time up and popped out to third, and Corey Herman last time. Wagner takes high and in. That's 5 straight balls pitched by Scotty Krantz. Long way to go to get to that tying runner, but Runkle is a start here on base in a 5-1 game. We may get a pinch runner now. I think Tony Gehrig has seen that we better get somebody out there. And I think that is Toby Hartman that will run. Yep. Toby Hartman is the runner, pinch runner out there at first. So here's again, Brady Wagner is in a 1-0 count right now. Throw over and getting back in. Tony Gehrig's looking over saying, young Mr. Hartman, it's 5-1. We're down. Every base runner is important at station to station. Don't you dare get picked off. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. And he missed inside. 2-0. Krantz is rugged out of the gates here. Got to find it quickly. 6 pitches, 6 balls. Comes set at the belt. The 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3-0. Hartman getting a lead. He's pinch running for Runkle, who walked. Top of the order looming next. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Inside, or outside corner, I beg your pardon, for a strike. First strike delivered by Krantz. See if that gets him in a little bit of a groove here. 3-1 on Wagner. The next offering, swing and a foul back, 3-2. 5-1 Edgerton on the Andres O'Neill and Lowe scoreboard. We're in the top half of inning number 7 of the 2nd District Semifinal. Number 1 seed Montpelier awaits the winner. The 3-2 pitch from Krantz. Inside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks. And a visit to the mound from Mike Gilland here quickly. I'm not thinking a hook this quick, but the leash is not much longer, right? A couple more base runners, a run scored, or is it that quick? It is that quick. I stand corrected. 2 batters is all that Scotty Krantz will face. And again, wholesale changes, and it'll be Kellen Sanchez to try to mop this thing up. So Krantz will go back to left. We're going to go ahead and give you some numbers on the season now on Kellen Sanchez for Edgerton. Sanchez has worked the most innings on the team, coming in at 31 2/3. This will be his 11th appearance. He is 5-2 with a 3.09 ERA. He has allowed 17 runs, 14 of them earned, 19 hits, struck out 37, walked 28, and has hit 3 batters on the season. He comes in with a first and second situation on walks, and he's going to be facing the top of the order here. Eldon will come back on the infield now to second base. I believe that would probably be Parker again. And Mason Eldon would go back out to right field. Those would be your defensive alignment changes. Sanchez, a right-hander. Again, this is not one of them thrown out trying to steal second, but 5 of the last 6 have walked, including the 2 in this inning. Hartman, a pinch runner, is at second. Wagner, who just drew a walk, is at first. Cam Slusher at the plate, 1 for 3 with an infield single. Again, not to the tying run to the plate yet in a 5-1 game. But things are getting interesting here, no doubt about it. Hilltop trying the ultimate rally. Sanchez misses up and in, ball 1. 1-0 on Cam Slusher. Terry Rebeck on deck. Devin Dempsey in the hole here for the 7th inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Sanchez deals. Swing and a miss, 1-1. A big-time cut from Cam Slusher. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7th inning, 5-1 Edgerton. District semifinal, game 2. Winner to face Montpelier on Saturday afternoon. The 1-1 from Sanchez. A big cut and miss again, and it's 1-2 now on Cameron Slusher. Bearing down, it appears, or looking at it like he's bearing down, is Kellen Sanchez. Lanky right-hander gets into the stretch. Stares in, has his sign. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, and it hit him. And the bases are loaded. 2 walks, a hit by pitch, and folks, Terry Rebeck's at the plate now as the tying run, and he has the power to tie it with one swing of the bat. He has 3 homers on the season to lead Hilltop. And when they changed bats the way they did for the high school level, you don't see seasons that much anymore. Bases juice, nobody out. Rebeck takes in the dirt. It's a bouncing ball all the way back to the screen. Hartman scores. It's 5-2 on the wild pitch. There's the first domino to fall for Hilltop. It's a 5-2 game. Now runners on second and third. And still nobody out. So Hartman scores the run. 1-0 count on Rebeck. The pitch, a swing and a ground ball towards short. It'll be gloved by Baker. The run will score from third. He'll get the out. A productive out for Rebeck, but Edgerton was more than willing to trade the run for the out. And it is 5-3 now. Going to third was Slusher, but there is a 1 out now in the inning. A 5-3 game. Runner on third, 1 down. Tying run still at the plate. Devin Dempsey, he is way overdue tonight. 0 for 3, and really just his first time up was his best contact. Flew out to right, struck out, and grounded out. The pitch from Sanchez. Check swing, but it is a called strike. 0-1 on Devin Dempsey. What a finish here. Hilltop not going quietly into this good night. A 5-3 game now. Breaking ball and a good one from Sanchez. And now Dempsey in an 0-2 hole. Dempsey, the number 3 hitter. Shimp on deck. Slusher at third. From the windup is Sanchez. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Slider away, 1-2. Edgerton, the number 1 seed. Edgerton, the number 2 seed. Hilltop, the number 4 seed. Sanchez, the 1-2. Coming home. High heat, missed. 2-2. 79 miles an hour on the fastball. 2-2 on Devin Dempsey. 5-3 game, Bulldogs. 1 out, 1 on. That runner's at third. We've already gotten a wild pitch that's gotten a run in this inning. The 2-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball, and there's another wild pitch. It goes all the way back to the screen. Slusher scores, and it's 5-4. Unbelievable. A 3-run inning for the Cadets. And now a reset here. You have the bases clear and 1 out. Devin Dempsey has a full count on him as the number 3 hitter. Again, if you're just joining us, this was 5-1 when the inning began. The 3-2 pitch from Sanchez. Called strike 3. And down goes Dempsey looking. Second out of the inning. And now it's all up to Cameron Shimp. A shaky 7th from Edgerton can be erased if they can get this out here and hang on and get to the district championship. 2 down, bases empty, 5-4 Dogs. Sanchez from the windup to face the right-handed hitting Shimp. Fastball in on the hands, ball 1. Shimp is 0 for 2 with a walk. Grounded out, flown out. And then when he walked last time, he was thrown out trying to swipe second. 1-0 pitch. Shimp cuts on, fouls it back, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Shimp. 2 down, bases empty. From 5-1 to 5-4, Edgerton trying to hang on for dear life. Sanchez shakes, now's ready. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Cadets down to their final strike in their 2025 season. Can Cameron Shimp hang in there? Will Kellen Sanchez slam the door? 1-2 pitch right now. It's a breaking ball, just missed. Edgerton was heading to the dugout, but the curveball stayed a touch outside. 2-2. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1-run game. Edgerton up 5-4 here at Sumpter. Sanchez rocks and fires. The 2-2 swung on, driven toward right field. Eldon on the run, makes the grab. And it got dicey, but Edgerton survives and advances in this one. They will get a shot at Montpelier in the district final coming up on Saturday afternoon. Final score here at Ray Sumpter Field: Edgerton 5 and Hilltop 4. Wow, what a finish in this one as the tying run came to the plate multiple times. Hilltop scored 3. They needed 4 to extend it. Maddox Baker gets the win. Cameron Shimp saddled with the loss, and Kellen Sanchez ends up closing the door to get the save. Let's take a look at some hitting numbers. Maddox Baker was 1 for 2 with a triple and 2 runs scored. Corey Herman had a single and also a sacrifice fly RBI. Kellen Sanchez had a double and a run scored in this one. Noah Weaver had a single and a run scored and a sacrifice fly RBI. Brady Everett's a single and a run scored, and Scotty Krantz had a single in this one. For Hilltop, Cameron Slusher, an infield single. Terry Rebeck, an RBI ground out. Anthony Giannuzzi drew a pair of walks and scored a run. Brennan Dempsey drew a walk. Micah Rossman had an RBI infield single in this one, and Brady Wagner in the number 9 hole had a couple of walks drawn. Hilltop will bow out at 12, 11, and 1, and Edgerton will move to 16 and 10 on the season, and they will play Montpelier, number 1 seed against the number 2 seed, coming up on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock back here at Ray Sumpter Field in Bryan. Our best one tire and service, best play of the game tonight. We're going to make it, I think, the play of Maddox Baker. He went 6 innings of allowing a run and 2 hits. He had a triple and 2 runs scored, and also played really good defense when he made a couple of plays at shortstop as well. Best one tire and service, where the best costs less. Again, enormous thanks to Chris Malenga and BryanSports.com. We will be back here Saturday at 2 for that district championship game. Again, streaming that game here on YouTube.com. YouTube.com/Bryan Sports. So Saturday at 2 will be our next broadcast game. Thanks to Nathan Keel and his crew, the coaches, of course, all of our wonderful advertisers and terrific listeners tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. I know for me, I know it had only been 6 days since I did a broadcast, but after everything that we went through as a B-Rock and Q family, to be back on the air and have some form of normalcy tonight, even through the streaming realm, it felt really good tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed bringing it to you. It is going to be some kind of fun district championship game come Saturday afternoon. Montpelier won the first game 7-3. Game 2 goes to Edgerton, hanging on for a 5-4 win. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until Saturday, have a great Thursday. And you've been listening to this broadcast here on YouTube.com/Bryan Sports.